Everyone, Hawk here. I wanted to go over a few issues with the OBS PS4 HDMI no sound setup. This is a setup I've been using for a bit now and it seems to be working fairly adequately. So I thought I'd just go over it with you and show you how I did it. So here you can see I have the HDMI splitter. A lot of you are probably familiar with this setup, but it's REI. It's just a generic one from Amazon that you can get. So this HDMI is an output. It goes to the TV. This HDMI is the one that runs to the HDMI capture card that I'll show you in a second. And this HDMI is an input. It's running from the PS4 into this spot here. And this little thing is the power adapter that runs through USB. You can either hook it through the laptop or some USB outlet, which I'm currently using. And this is the USB capture card. It's just a very generic one. It's not an Elgato or anything. The only thing that I wanted to make sure it had was 60 frames per second at 1080p. But other than that, it does capture sound. The whole reason I got this whole setup was to also for the PS3 as well, but I find that it works fine with the PS4. And this little thing is the USB hub that I have it plugged into. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the USB capture card has this really wide uh, uh, ending on it, and it prevents me from using other USB ports. And you can see here that there's a space between the PS4 plug-in and the USB. That's how wide it is. And this little thing is what I use to plug into the laptop. A little side note though, in case anybody's wondering. So I have the USB charger cord there for the PlayStation, and I plug that into the laptop. And the reason is because if you watch our show, you can see that our characters use the controller. And that's how I'm able to make the tune use the controller through the through the laptop, if anybody was curious about that. All right, so let's get into how we make the sound work. Once we plug everything into the laptop, turn on the PlayStation, and the first thing that we're going to have to do is add a video capture card, and it should show up in the list. And now because I'm plugged into a USB hub, it shows up for me as USB video. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is change this output. There's a few options here, but the one that I chose is direct wave. The second thing you're going to want to do is add a custom audio. So select that, and in the drop-down menu, there's going to be another few options. The one that I picked was the USB hub because that's what I'm using. But you should, if you're not using that, you should use your video capture, and that's what will send the sound out to your desktop. Okay, and pardon the way my windows look. Yes, I am visually impaired. So if the fonts and the colors are a bit off, I apologize for that. All right, so we want to go in here into the options and we want to see what our options are for OBS and for sound. This is the part that I found that enabled the sound initially because I was having issues with OBS not running the sound no matter what device I set it to. So this is where I found how to solve that. So what I did was I had a game running on the PlayStation in the background, whether it was on the menu screen or whatever. I don't know, fire up any game that you know has music or something like that. And then change these settings one by one. I don't know exactly which one will work for you, But that's what I did. I initially did that until I ended up getting sound. I know that's probably not as much helpful as you were hoping, but that's how I solved it. Okay, hopefully you're getting sound at this point. That's where you can go back to the properties and change it to the headset under the custom setting there on the video capture card. And then one other thing you're going to want to do is if you're going to want to record it, is you have to go over here to advanced options and set it to monitoring and output. Now, there isn't initially going to be any bars or anything like that. At least mine don't have bars that go up and down on the volume here, but it does run through the desktop audio. So, and hopefully that solves your issue.